And the Sheikh here have mentioned, the Imam Rahimahullah said, حتى إذا فزع عن قلوبهم قالوا ماذا قال ربكم قالوا الحق وهو العلي الكبير. Allah, this is, and also he mentioned here a hadith about how the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes down from the highest, from Allah, the seventh heaven, to lower and lower and so on. He said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees something in the seven heavens, the malaika, they will hit their wings. The thing is, let's go for the ayah first, inshallah. And the ayah, this ayah is with Jamal, حتى إذا فزع عن قلوبهم, when the fear, when the fear goes away, basically, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command, does his command, when the sound of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make their heart full of fears. Can you هذول يا شيخ تخلصوا هذول الجماعة يا حجي محسن. Allah musta'an. So the ayah before this, subhanallah, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قل ادعوا الذين زعمتم من دون الله لا يملكون مثقال ذرة في السماوات وفي الأرض وما لهم فيهما من شرك وما له منهم من ظهير. Then he said, ولا تنفع الشفاعة عنده إلا لمن أذن له. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned here the ayat. Before he mentioned حتى إذا فزع عن قلوبهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the one you call beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't own anything in heavens and earth. They don't even participate in the creation of heavens and earth. They did not help. They have no partnership and they do not participate. They did not help, and their shafa'ah is not permissible. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the shafa'ah itself only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who allowed to make shafa'ah, meaning intercession, and allow the person to receive it. So Allah have to have two permission. And in order for to receive the shafa'ah, the one who makes shafa'ah, the intercessor, the one who does the shafa'ah, and the one who receives it has to be both have the permission, have the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah said, حَتَّى إِذَا فُزِّعَ عَنْ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Basically, whatever you invoke beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَا يَمْلِكُونَ شَيْءٍ. They don't own anything, definitely zero. And this like shows here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala nullifies every type of shirk and shows the proof and the dalil. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only deity, the only one worthy of worship, the only one deserved to be worshipped. He said, all the stuff here, the four things he mentioned, they don't own anything, and they have no partnership, and they did not assist, and their shafa'ah, their intercession, will not be accepted unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow them to do so. As he said, then he said, Kaptan Gawan. They said this ayah basically will invalidate any form of shirk. He said, حَتَّى إِذَا فُزِّعَ عَنْ قُلُوبِهِمْ. This explains the ayah, then we'll go to the hadith, we'll explain each other, inshallah. So, فُزِّعَ عَنْ قُلُوبِهِمْ, the fear will goes away. حَتَّى إِذَا mean the angels. When the fear, they're not as afraid as they were before. Because when the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes down upon them, they become fainted. They faint, subhanAllah, when the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because here, example here, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the command, ضربت الملائكة بأجنحتها. The angel will strike the earth or something, or the heaven somewhere, and he said, then out of submission, out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said the sound so strong, so scary. He said like, a dragon or hitting like a, what they call it, smooth stone with like a huge chain. Become like very strong voice. And the angels have wings, as we said, وضعت أجنحتها. ضربت أجنحتها. They strike with their wings. As Allah mentioned, in Surah Fatir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created heaven, angels with wings. Some have 2 and 3. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said Jibreel have 600 wings. Each one of them, each wing will block the horizon. Not the 600 together, each wing, subhanAllah. Said, حَتَّى إِذَا فُزِّعَ عَنْ قُلُوبِهِمْ. With the fear after the command of Allah subhanahu goes away, after they heard the huge sound, they said, the malaika will make another thing, subhanAllah, another sound. And shows here, this is the greatest or the biggest of the creation, one of the biggest creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the angels. As Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have mentioned Jibreel how big. And he said, I'm now allowed to describe one angel. Between his ear and his shoulder, 500 years walking distance. The one who bear the throne. So the thing is, those malaika, the angels, they have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they hear the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now here they said, إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ أَمْرًا فِي السَّمَاءِ, when Allah decrees something in heaven. So we know where's Allah. Allah is above heaven. Not in heaven, above the heaven. And subhanAllah, as the story for people, they deny where's Allah. They said Allah is everywhere. Allah is not everywhere. Allah is above the heaven. Clearly. Allah said, Stawa al-arsh. He rose over the throne. How? We don't know. He rose over the throne. How big is the throne? We don't know. How big is Allah? We don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be compared to anything. So this hadith here, authentic hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, he said, إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ الْأَمْرَ فِي السَّمَاءِ, when Allah decrees something in heaven. So mean above the heaven. As Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw the little girl, she was a slave. He said, where is Allah? She said, above the heaven. He said, you are free. You are mu'mina, go ahead and you are free. So this is deny the people who said, the Asha'ira, who said Allah is everywhere. Allah is not everywhere. Allah is knowledge everywhere. Allah can see everything. Nothing could be hidden from Allah. But Allah above the heaven, above His throne, above the seven heaven, above the throne, subhanAllah, and so on. So the malaika, we said, ضربت الملائكة بأجنحتها. So the wings will basically, with the strike or so on. And he said, out of submission, out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they hear, then he said, when they hear the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's mean Allah speaks. Allah speaks. Not the way they say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He used to have words without voice or without letters. Those the other people said, if you say Allah speaks, that means you resemble Allah to human being. Who said He speaks like us? But this is the word, Allah speaks. They said when the malaika hear the sound of Allah, so this Allah speaks. You deny everything, because the thing is they deny everything Allah has. They deny all the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said He has a hand, they deny the hand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He has saq, He has a leg, they said He deny. The thing is you have to confirm what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have confirmed for Himself. But you didn't say how. How is the hand of Allah? We don't know. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the hadith. He said the hearts of son of Adam between two fingers of the fingers of Allah. So Allah have fingers, but how? We don't know how. We stop right there. We don't describe, we didn't do anything, because لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Then he said, subhanAllah, when they hear the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said, فُزِّعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ, they faint. Then when the faint is go, or when the fear goes away, subhanAllah, they say, مَاذَا قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ. So they want to know what Allah have commanded, because the one in the highest heaven, the seventh heaven, like Jibreel and others, the one who bear the thrones, there could be others beside them. And so when they hear the huge and the scary voice from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said, ماذا قال? What did Allah have said? What did Allah said? Then he said, they said, يقول الحق. Allah قال الحق. So the thing is goes from the one who bear the throne, the one when Jibreel goes down, and so on. They said, قالوا قال الحق. Allah said the truth with His commands, wise with His commands, and His orders and decrees, everything, all of what Allah have said is the truth, subhanAllah. So here he said, this is very important thing. They said all the way go down, فَيَسْمَعُهَا مُسْتَرِقُ السَّمْعِ. Then the jinn, the shayateen, they hear some, when they go, some of the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they have power. Different. Allah gave them the ability to hear, which is we cannot hear. We cannot fly there. They can fly. They could do things like they could hide. They see us, we cannot see them. And things like, so Allah gave them something, they could basically listen to some of the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the jinn there, subhanAllah, this is one of the most important part of this dars today, subhanAllah. He said the angels, as Sufyan have described them, he said he put his hand this way, then he put this hand this way. They go basically on top of each other till one of them here, then he give it to the next person, then he give it to the magician or the palm reader. So they get there. So here, some of the stuff they hear is true. Some. And we're going to see what they hear and how with the percentage, subhanAllah. So said they go above each other, the jinn, the shayateen, till one of them here, and then so on. And then they get striked. Some of them die. Some of them doesn't. The jinn. This ayat in the book of Allah is not something we're guessing. This is ayat from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for great wisdom for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't kill them all as a test for them and for us. Otherwise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to kill them all, right? So subhanAllah, so Allah is able to destroy them all, subhanAllah. So now, as you know, the jinn, they have to follow the deen of Islam. The jinn, they have messengers from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, didn't Allah have sent prophets and messengers? Then He said, وَيَنذُرُونَكُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا. So they warn you against, or to get ready, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have warned you about this day, the day of judgment. So they have messengers and prophets, the jinn. So the thing is here, sometimes they hear something, they deliver it to the one beneath them, and so on. Sometimes they can't. They die before them, subhanAllah. As Allah said, Allah delay the zalim, the wrongdoer. So the jinn, some of them dalmeen, the one who try to hear there, subhanAllah. And they said, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَيَكْذِبُ. So when they hear one word, he said, فَيَكْذِبُ مَعَهَا مَاءَتْ كَذِبَ. So with each word they hear, they add to it about 100 lies. So one true word, and the rest of them like about 100 lies, subhanAllah. Then, subhanAllah, sometimes they come back to their sense. Said, well, he's lying. So the shaitan tell them that, because the shayateen urge each other, said, didn't he say the truth the other day? They might tell you something, this person going to die, or this is going to happen. Because they hear the commands, some of the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave them the ability, subhanAllah. And the people, subhanAllah, they go to the magician, and they go to the, subhanAllah, to the palm readers and the psychic and whatever, and for us to follow them and so on. So the thing is here. Listen to this, just this moral. The jinn, why they go up there and come to the palm reader or the magician for? Why they tell him? What they getting out of? What they going to get out of the magician? Question for you. Very good, mashallah, barakallah fikum. So basically the jinn, listen to this, the shayateen, they risk their life, they risk their lives to make us kuffar, to commit shirk. Even they know they're going to die for shirk. They go up there, they know someone get killed. But because what the mission of the shaitan? To misguide them all. The mission of the shaitan to misguide us all. So he go up there to listen, his soldier, and subhanAllah, they are tested, so they listen, so some they die, but still they go for it. This is their mission. And subhanAllah, see here our shortcomings. So how much da'wah we give for the guidance of the others? Compare. When the Sahaba died for the sake of Allah, you know why they died? Because they know their mission in this life to give da'wah, to invite people to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So imagine the difference, subhanAllah, and for just misguide people, subhanAllah. But here the thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in the day of judgment, described the situation between the jinn and the people who follow. He said, وَيَوْمَ يَحْشُرُهُمْ جَمِيعًا. When Allah gathered everyone together, He said, يَا مَعْشَرَ الْجِنِّ قَدْ اسْتَكْثَرْتُم مِّنَ الْإِنسِ. SubhanAllah. So then the answer here, He said, وَقَالَ أَوْلِيَاءُ النَّاسِ اسْتَمْتَعَ بَعْضُنَا بِبَعْضٍ. Basically, we enjoyed each other, the jinn and the who followed them. How did they enjoy each other? The jinn, they enjoyed that they became kuffar. They made the human being kuffar. They love this. They have fulfilled their mission. This person became kafir. And the human being, they enjoyed by taking some ghaib information. So this is the thing, they enjoyed each other. They enjoyed this, the jinn enjoyed this, misled the human being, and those, the magician and the palm readers and so on, those enjoyed, like they gain money, the worldly thing. So they gain money, fame, and whatever, people, they after them, and so on. SubhanAllah. Then He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ماذا قال ربك قالوا الحق وهو العلي الكبير. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High, Ali al-Kabir could be the irresistible. Mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, qahir fawqa ibad. He's they have the power over his slaves. And Ali, basically, he have the highest status, subhanAllah. And one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that's al-Ali, which is ulu, the high, subhanAllah. And al-Kabir, also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Kabir. Inshallah, we'll stop right here. This is the chapter today, only the hadith and the ayah, inshallah. To be continued, inshallah, tomorrow, if Allah gives us a life. Inshallah, we're going to do, inshallah, one of the days, inshallah, we're going to do could be a day or two, just summary about the zakah. Because zakah is something huge and important thing to learn about. A lot of us, we didn't have enough information about the zakah. We need basically to be educated, because this is the most important thing. The Tawheed, this is the biggest thing. The Salah, also we take this to refresh our memories about Salah and the wudu and so on. And also the zakah. The zakah is a big thing. If you own more than $5,000-$6,000, that's mean you owe zakah. And if you own like 10,000 or 20 or 30 or 100 and you did not pay, that's mean you owe zakah. If you didn't pay 14 years, you owe 14 years. So this is something serious. And this is something, the zakah is not a joke. This is a pillar of Islam. We have to be very careful about this. And inshallah, we'll learn about this soon enough, inshallah.